Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year, first of all. My name is Stefan Skoroneos. I'm the artistic director, general and artistic director, I should say, of Teatro Grattacielo. Welcome to our first 2021 live Umberto Giordano's Fedora Meet the Cast. Amici dall'Italia che ci seguite, buon anno e tante belle cose vi auguriamo da tutti noi al Teatro Grattacielo. Φίλοι και φίλες από την Ελλάδα, καλή χρονιά και χρόνια πολλά από τη Νέα Υόρκη. And now that I finished trying to impress you with my languages, here I am presenting you something that has been very, very dear to my heart. And this is the 2020 Teatro Grattacielo performance, video performance, film performance of Umberto Giordano's Fedora. Teatro Grattacielo was founded by an extraordinary woman 27 years ago. Her name is Duane Prince. Duane Prince started this company because she wanted to showcase in the United States, and obviously particularly in New York, rare operas that have never been seen or have been seen very little in the United States. We continue with this tradition. Last year, in 2020, we presented in a film version, because there was no possibility due to COVID limitations to have an actual performance. We presented Umberto Giordano's Fedora. And without further ado, I would like to bring in my screen my main partner in crime, or joy of joys, our president of the board, Enzo Pizzemente. Hi, Enzo. Happy New Year.
Buon anno, Happy New Year. Buon anno a tutti in Italia e Happy New Year to the world.
Fantastic. So, yeah. The plan today was for us to get together, present some of the most, some of the cast, the creative crew of Teatro Grattacielo, some people who made this production a success, and they were instrumental in what has happened this year. But before we start presenting all this incredible talent, I would like you to say 2 words about maybe Grattacielo or whatever you want.
Well, first of all, I thank all the artists for working so hard in this terrible year that we had. Israel is absolutely doesn't need an introduction, but I thank him. I take advantage of thanking him in person right now. Malena, Maria, everybody that participated in this beautiful event, not only with Fedora, but everything else we had. I think Teatro Grattacielo had the best year ever as far as amount of performances between concerts and academy and everything else. So I'm very happy about what happened, although I'm sorry about the environment in which it happened. Our goal is to have multiple performances a year, multiple operas a year. It's very difficult to do it because of one reason only. Nothing to do with what we want to do, nothing to do with our willpower. It has to do with l'argent. It has to do with, and I was not born billionaire. None of us were born billionaires or millionaires. So we work hard on this project, but we need the help from everybody that enjoys music and those people that don't enjoy music, but they love to have a write-off, a tax write-off, because Teatro Grattacielo is a 501c3. Please donate to us. We are good. I mean, we work for you. We work for you. And we need your help to make singers enjoy their careers. They had to make money. The musicians, the directors. We want to help everybody. My God, if we had the possibility, we open the gates to a huge treasure in which all the artists will come in and pick what they like. It's a dream, but we need your help to make people had fun, earn a living too, because they had to pay the rent, or the artists, as well as all of us. We have expenses, and there is a beautiful tax deduction for people that donate, 501c3. For people that don't donate, normally a small donation is always accepted. And with your help, we're going to do very, very well. We're going to be able to do multiple performances this year. And we have a huge program. And with Stefanos there, it's scary, because every year of my life is like 5 years, because
it's true. I make him work, and you should know that I call him Sugar Daddy.
No, yes. We decided to have names from the Greek mythology. He's Apollo, of course, Apollo, and I'm Marte. El dio dell'amore, el dio della guerra.
Thank you so much, Enzo. Thank you so much.
Thank you, all the artists. Thank you.
So I will start going down my list of people that they have made this production a success. And I will start with somebody who we have been very close lately, who I think did an incredible work on directing this opera. And she delivered in so many levels. And this is mezzo soprano and director extraordinaire, Malena Dayen.
Thank you, Stefano.
Who doesn't know, Malena is from Argentina, but she lives in New York. Malena, first of all, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We text each other, but now we can say that also almost in person.
Correct.
I wanted to jump in right away and ask you, what was your process of getting ready to direct this opera? What triggered you to deliver the concept, your concept, the Malena Dayen.
Look, the first vision I had, and in the first conversations with you, connected with the story of Fedora. It's a mystery, a murder mystery, with Russian characters, Russian politics, but it happens in Paris and in Switzerland, in their houses in exile. And the vision I had to do with film noir, mystery, Humphrey Bogart mystery movies, but at the same time with a modern visual. We thought we used the space that it's a theater in Brooklyn, the Target Margin based Doxy Theater. So it has this Brooklyn industrial black and white vibe. But one thing that was very important for me right from the beginning, I saw this conflict of filming opera, right? It was very important for me, even envisioning this kind of different look, that the opera singers were at the core, in the spotlight, in the center stage of our production. I didn't want it to become a movie where singers lip sync and we edit afterwards. It's very important for Teatro Grattacielo. Traditionally, I mean, what Teatro Grattacielo did all these years were concert versions with the orchestra, the chorus, first-rate singers, and the staging took a back seat to opera singing, right? So it was important for me that even in this situation, and I think you will see that in the video, our audience that will didn't see it till now, that will get to see it today, the voices in this performance. You casted an amazing team. Everybody's an extraordinary singer. So although I had some fun with, we had an amazing team. John De Gaetano had fun with lighting and all of that. What really is at the core, what we're showcasing is opera singing.
And I totally agree with you, and thank you for bringing this up, because like I said at the beginning, the mission of Teatro Grattacielo is presenting operas that public are not that used to hear, and how do you take these operas and present them in a way that it's modern, is now, but resonates with the people who love opera in a traditional way, but also with the people that might want to approach opera right now, a younger generation, etc. And you did it beautifully. Hats to you, because I have really,
with your support, we were an amazing support, amazing teammate.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Malena, stay with us. I will
Yes.
go in
And wait to see everybody.
Yes, yes. And second, incredibly instrumental person, not second on the list, second because I'm bringing him for second, is Teatro Grattacielo's music director and conductor, Israel Gursky, who is right here. Hi, Israel.
Hello.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Stefanos. Happy New Year to everyone listening.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Israel. I want to say that, the first thing that for whoever doesn't know a little bit why, what went behind the scenes when we were getting ready to do this Fedora, we had decided, we have booked a theater, we have booked an orchestra. Before the pandemic, we had dates in a theater to perform it in our traditional way. And then pandemic happened. And my conversation with Israel was, what do we do? Do we quit, or do we do something that doesn't involve an orchestra, because we cannot have an orchestra, but we do something that is excellent anyway? So lucky us, Israel is also a pianist extraordinaire. So for whoever has seen the film will realize, and this is what I'm getting from a lot of people that have seen the project, the film, that it doesn't really bother them, the fact that there is not an orchestra, because Israel has delivered at the highest levels. And I feel very lucky that we have him in the company. And like Malena, the same thing I wanted to ask you. I know that you have conducted already the score in Washington, D.C. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I was the cover conductor.
Excellent. Yes, yes. So you had some kind of approach with the opera before Teatro Grattacielo.
Right.
But what I would like to ask you is the same thing. How did you prepare for this performance?
Right. Well, I wanted to follow up on what you just said, and I think the motto for us this year is to make lemons into lemonade.
Right.
The pandemic has made our profession, made life for musicians, it's so difficult. It's nearly impossible. But we have to keep going, because music is important to us. The art form is important to us. We wanted to create something. And like you said, we had everything lined up for a full production with orchestra of Fedora. And obviously, we had to change course. And I'm very happy that we came up with the solution that we came up, because I think it's wonderful. And I'm so happy that people have already been watching it and complimenting on what we produced. So the process, having been a rehearsal pianist for many years, I had a clear sense that this opera doesn't work if you reduce it to a string quartet with piano. But I had a clear sense it could work with the rich sound of a grand piano and with wonderful instruments on our disposal that we rented from Clavier House in New York. And I tried my best to make it sound orchestral and rich. And we had a fantastic cast. Indeed, we had to make, also due to the pandemic, some last changes to our casting, but we're very, very blessed and lucky to have the cast that we had. And I'm very proud of the work we all did. You ask about the process of preparation. I usually like to start early. I think for a successful product, a week or two of rehearsals is usually not enough. It's a little rushed. So in all my projects with Teatro Grattacielo, when I started in 2012, I always approached the singers and tried to have some sessions ahead of time, start early, work on our concept, understand each other, familiarize ourselves with each other. And that's what I did here. Of course, the pandemic makes everything more complicated. So we had to do a lot over Zoom. We had to wear masks. We had to social distance. I should also mention, as you might later, that we had a wonderful session about a month before filming started with Stefano Di Peppo to go over the libretto, to go over the Italian diction. And, once we started music rehearsals, we had the studio in Harlem where we had to keep a lot of distance between people, and we all had to sing with masks and had to play and conduct with masks. And later at the Target Margin Theater in Brooklyn, it was very intense. Everyone worked very hard, very concentrated, the whole staff, the whole crew. But here we are. I think it's a product that we can be proud of. And I hope that for everyone who has not yet watched the production, they take the opportunity today, and hopefully after today also, to watch it, to donate to the company, to help us with our mission, and to support us in any way.
Thank you so much, Israel. And I want to enhance a little bit of what Israel said. You should know that when we filmed in the Target Margin, we were allowed to have only 14 people in the building. Half of them was crew, because we decided to splurge into crew. We had, because we wanted a real performance, a live performance, filmed but live. So we had a sound engineer, we had 4 cameras, we had the lighting designer, etc. And we all worked our hopefully magic to make it happen. And obviously this could not have happened without you, and we are super happy to have you. Thank you very much, Israel. Stay with us. I will bring you in at the end.
Thank you, Stefanos. Thank you for helping us making this all happen.
My absolute pleasure. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I go on to present you some extraordinary singers, and I say this with extraordinary with a capital E, because they are all very special, I would like to go on and show a small trailer from our opera, which will prepare the mood, your mood, hopefully, for what it is to come. So enjoy. So I need to think, before I go on, I need to thank a couple of people. First of all, for this particular trailer that you saw, I need to thank Malena Dayen and David Salazar, who worked very hard to make it happen. But also I would like to give special thanks to Enrico Ventrice, who edited this film, and to Ippolito Leota and from Freedom View, who provided all the cameras and the cameramen. And without further ado, my first guest will be Maria Brea, soprano Maria Brea. Hi, Maria, how are you? Happy New Year.
Hi, Happy New Year, feliz año nuevo a todo el mundo.
Gracias. Maria Brea was played the role, sang the role of Olga. Olga in the opera is, in a certain way, the comic relief, extraordinary singer who is about to become also mother. And what I would like to ask you, which is something that I'm sure many people would like to know, is what. How do you see your new year? What do you see happening, or what do you hope, or what do you have planned for this year?
Well, this year is starting quite exciting. There are certain news that I cannot share yet until February, but there are some really exciting things happening. I'm also premiering with the Sparks and Weary Cries. We are doing a premiere of a work by a Venezuelan composer, which will be out soon. Actually, I think we're having an article being posted by Opera News very soon. This was a collaboration with wonderful pianist Howard Watkins, and I'm super excited. We filmed this in November. I was 8 months pregnant, and it was the last thing I did because I couldn't do anymore. My body couldn't take anymore. And then in June, I have some really exciting things coming up. Also, certain performances that were supposed to happen last year are supposed to be happening this year in 2021. So I'm just crossing my fingers and waiting to see if everything kind of stabilizes so that those things can happen. One of them being Singing Frasquita. And also I'm a semi-finalist of the Eva Marton competition in Hungary. So that is supposed to happen in September 2021, hopefully. I mean, again.
Yes. And can you share with us, you just won a very important competition in Spain. Can you share a little bit with our audience?
Yes, I won the Best Zarzuela Singer in the Francisco Viñas, as well as 6 prize in the Francisco Viñas, which included singing at the Teatro Liceo of Barcelona with the orchestra. And part of the prize is to go and sing with Teatro de Zarzuela. But again, because everything is so weird nowadays, I'm waiting to hear from the company and see where that goes, because part of my prize is to have my debut there in Madrid, and I'm really excited about that, as well as other beautiful projects that are there. But with COVID, I'm just hoping that everything moves and that everything is good.
We are all keeping our fingers crossed. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you for being with us. Stay with us. I will bring you back in at the end. And gracias. And I should say that Maria is from Venezuela, but she lives in New York City. So I will move on to the tenor. Okay. Every opera has a tenor. Some operas have more than one tenor, but usually there is the tenor who sings, the romantic lead. In our case was Jeremy Brauner, who has probably one of the most famous tunes of this opera, the aria Mortivieta.
The big tune, as they say.
The big tune, which you delivered incredibly wonderfully. I should say that Jeremy, who lives also in New York, is a second time comeback for us. He was with us at our 25th anniversary concert when he sang an aria from Lorelei. Yes,
Lorelei, yes.
And we brought him back this year for the title, for the tenor role in Fedora. So
and it was an absolute pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure to be a part of it.
Yes, it was. It was an absolute pleasure for us too. So obviously, we are super excited that you were back with us, and we were excited to have you. And like everybody else, I wanted, because we have spoken so much about roles, etc. I want to know a little bit about your future, your 2021, and what plans do you have in your life in general?
It's hard to make plans as we've seen over the last year, but I have some projects coming up. I'll be doing a concert with the New Jersey Festival Orchestra, a little post-holiday concert that they're going to be filming, and that's going to be at the end of January that we're filming, and the release date will be shortly after. A few online digital projects, as well as hopefully some in-person projects. Nothing is finalized, but most of this would be the season of 2020 that got delayed and pushed back to 2021.
Right.
So there was a few premieres in Rigoletto. I'll be doing the Duke at some point. I don't know when. And as well as with New Amsterdam Opera, hopefully we'll be getting to put on the Vespri Siciliani, which unfortunately was delayed, but hopefully that will be premiering, debuting as Arrigo in that, and so that's very exciting.
I am very excited to hear that, because in my youth, I have done quite a few productions of the Vespri Siciliani, and I know that that role is very hard. It's a very hard role. So I will be watching. I will be on the first role, watching you.
Yes.
This is the beast of a role, and I'm very, very, very happy for you.
Yes,
Jeremy,
hopefully that'll be a live performance, but who knows? And who knows as things go. Time gets fools of us all. So.
I'm pretty much sure our friends from New Amsterdam Opera, they will figure it out, and it's going to be something wonderful. They have always delivered beautiful performances, and I'm sure this is going to be, Maestro Chambers is going to be another one of these beautiful performances. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Thank you. And thank you everyone who's watching. Thank you for supporting us, and continue to support us, please. Thank you.
Thank you. The tenor said that, okay? I said that. He said that. So, third on my list, and I would like to bring in a mezzo-soprano extraordinaire. She is super extra multi-talented, Eugenia Fortesa.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, who sang with us the role of Dimitri. Dimitri is a very interesting, not very big role, but it has some very interesting moments. But what I would like to say is that Eugenia is not only a singer; she also has one of the biggest right now social media platforms that have to do with opera, the 360 Degrees of Opera. A very, very successful entrepreneur, and a person that I am happy to call friend, because we love each other, and we support each other, and we appreciate each other. Hi, Eugenia. How are you?
Hi, Stefanos. Thank you for that introduction. Love it.
Oh, yeah. So, like everybody else, today the theme of this day is because we have done some other lives where we presented roles, etc. What I would like to know from you is what has the 2021 been preparing for you as a performer, as a person, as a whatever?
Well, I just finished up a really busy December of holiday concerts, events. And my priority this year is to stay healthy and happy and centered. Like everyone else, it's very hard to tell and know what to expect. I had a bunch of things that got canceled in 2020, so I'm hoping that they can be rescheduled in some shape or form this year. Some projects here in New York, some world debuts, concerts. Then other things that I can't say yet. I do have a project with my friend Felix Gerard, who's a composer and a pianist. And we're preparing something with a soprano. It's going to be a really nice program, and that's going to happen in April. And other than that, I also have some film projects. I'm in a radio drama series that we haven't completed yet. We started it last year. And so I'm waiting for those projects to wrap up.
Yeah, and I mean, we can officially also say, I feel very comfortable to say that you're coming back with us next year. We're not going to say yet what. Let's keep a little bit of mystery.
Yeah.
But you will be back with us, and I'm very, very, very happy.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I love being a part of so many projects with Teatro Grattacielo this year as a young artist. And I think the work everyone's doing in this company is so important, especially, I mean, if we look back, last year was crazy. So I think the fact that everyone together could accomplish this with this company is amazing. And I join everyone in saying thank you for streaming the opera. I hope everyone enjoys it today. Today it's free, but please consider donating and supporting the company so everyone can, so Stefanos can keep producing amazing things for you.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Eugenia. I'll see you again.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next person that I'm going to bring on this on the screen is a longtime friend, baritone Marcelo Guzzo, who is drinking coffee. I'm drinking coffee too. I have my espresso here.
Just tea.
Yes. Oh, fantastic. You should know, ladies and gentlemen, that me and Marcelo, we know each other for a very long time. Right. We never had actually we had the pleasure of singing together in Fresno, California, with Fresno Gran Opera, Bohème. How many years ago, Marcelo?
12, 13.
Something like that. You were Marcelo.
Yeah.
I was Alcindora Benoit. And that was the start of a friendship that has lasted for a long time. And I was very, very happy that we have been able to work it out this year and have you singing a very good role, in my view, this year. It's a wonderful role that showcased so much about you. And I'm sure whoever is going to go and see the film will understand what I'm talking about. Marcelo, the same thing like everybody else. I would like you to kind of walk us through your next year, your plans, your dreams, your whatever you want to share with us about this year.
Well, it has been a challenge for all of us trying to reconnect with the plans, the possibilities that we may have, the work that we have done to reconnect opportunities, and all of a sudden, all disappeared. Some good things are coming back. Some new projects, online. There are some very good possibilities. Future Don Giovanni online. That we'll see how that can develop. I get some confirmations from possible confirmations in South America, some concerts in Italy. Trying to keep it rolling and trying to reconnect the opportunities that once we work so hard to put together. One of the things that is interesting is how this new online possibility to share what we do, it has created a space during a very difficult time. I believe this online version of sharing performance is something that is going to stay even after we walk this process of pandemic. And in the sense right there, you realize how how innovating our business is, and trying to survive and trying to reconnect the audience. I believe at the end we will have another platform to even reach different audiences. Sometimes they don't have the time; they can only reconnect through online, through the telephone, for the computer. And if we can really deliver the goods through any of the platforms, we will be able to grow up a new market. In that, your company has been a pioneer, because in the middle of the pandemic, nobody was doing absolutely nothing. We were hopeless to figure it out where our life is gonna go, and here I get this call that shows the heart and where this company wants to go, and for that I cannot thank you enough, because being surrounded by this music in one of the most low moments of our business, it was something incredibly inspiring. So and a pioneer, you put your ideas together in a moment where there was not a door. You went with a pencil and said, "Oh, here is a door. Let's do this." And maybe the result that everybody will see in the video is a reflect of that, because we didn't have elements, as everybody been saying. We only have an internal connection for what we're trying to express.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, Malena directions and the cameras will really there to capture what we have to say in a very profound, moving moment from all of us. And in that sense, the opera and the music was really carrying our feelings of the moment that we were living as well.
You really touched my heart with what you said, because it is true. We put a lot of love in what we do,
Yeah.
and I feel like everybody put a little bit of extra love because of the historical moment, because of the difficulties that everybody's facing right now as a performer. We do know that we performers live day by day in a certain way, because we don't have a 9-to-5 job, and our feelings and our days and our mood in a certain ways depend of our work, of our passion. And obviously, because we do it with passion and with love, I feel like everybody who was involved in this project put their extra best to make this what it is today. That I'm very happy to say that so far has been a great ride.
Yeah, and it's incredibly gracious from your company and your team to share this available for everybody, and without asking more than simple considerations in the future donations for the company. I think it's something that we should all try to put our thoughts in the present and in the future, to really try to connect with a company who want to express something and has something to say. And if you have something to say in one of the most difficult times that you are probably going to face in your lifetime, hopefully never again, it's a company that has anima and has soul and wants to achieve things that will motivate and will create a better environment and a better art for all of us.
Thank you so much, Marcelo. Thank you. Stay with us until the end, please, for a final goodbye. And I want to move on to another baritone extraordinaire, who I don't know for a long time, but I certainly appreciate. I don't know in person. I mean, I knew of him as a singer. His name is Bryan Montgomery. Bryan has a glorious career as a performer. He has performed practically everywhere. There is no theater in the world that has not had his presence at some point. And this obviously shows in his performance with us in Fedora. The role was not one of the biggest roles that he ever sang, because who knows his history knows that he has sung major roles, but he showcased him, in my opinion, in a wonderful way. Hi, Bryan.
Hi, Stefanos, grazie, caro.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
No, please go on.
Oh, no, I just wanted to comment on the experience. Yes, it's a small role, but doing small roles, there's usually a large intensity with it, especially this role, because you come on, you have to bring in bad news and explain things. And so you have to get the motivations, the looks, and the timing just right, and get across that emotion. And so, you think about it, you game it out in your mind, and then you go out there and you throw yourself into it. And I love to sing beautifully, as you know, but I also love to try and be a good character. So,
it's very. I have never told you, and I'm going to share it right now publicly. But while you were singing, while we were filming your scene, somebody that was on the other side of the cameras told me something that I totally share. They thought that you gave a masterclass in presentation during your performance, and I agree. Your scene is a very small scene, obviously, but that small scene is so full of so many elements that make you who you are. And I totally agree with what you said about small roles, because guess what? I have been a buff all my life, and except those 4 roles that they were big, everything else was smaller character roles. And I know what it means to have intensity and have to deliver it right away. And bravo to you. Can you tell us a little bit about your plans for this year? What do you plan to do? Well,
it's like everyone else. I had a couple of contracts last year, which were canceled. One was of good consequence. This year, if it is not canceled, there's a Sweeney Todd in Hong Kong.
Fantastic.
And that would be singing the lead role, and which means I would have to figure out that British accent, but
I'm sure you will do it.
Yeah, that would be fun. Other than that, it's like everybody, just looking for opportunities and keeping busy and being committed to staying in vocal shape and all of that.
Fantastic. Bryan Montgomery, thank you so much for being with us.
Figurati.
Stay with me. I have still another extraordinary singer to present, and then I'm going to bring all of you on the screen. Thank you, Bryan. And last but not least, Soprano Kineti Eli, who is now in Israel. You guys, I understand you are in total lockdown, right?
Yeah, so we're in lockdown so we're not allowed to go further than 1 kilometer outside. And by the way, just very quickly, I want to say hi to everybody. Buonasera and Kalispera. I hope I said that right. I just started learning Greek as well during this. During this lockdown.
And you told me something very interesting before, that you guys in Israel are about to all get your flu shot.
Vaccinated, yes, the COVID shot this week. I know. So we're very excited about that. There's still a long way to go, of course, but I'm feeling very hopeful this week. Fantastic. And hopefully we won't have to live in bubble wrap for much longer, and we can all be safe and thrive again.
I know. Yeah. And you should know, ladies and gentlemen, that Kineti sang the role of Il Ragazzo, which is a very interesting role because closes the opera and seals the drama. The opera starts as a murder mystery, goes to a party where mystery gets enhanced, and then finishes in a total drama. And Ragazzo, who is not a big role, but it's a very important role exactly because enhances the drama of this woman who commits suicide because of her actions, I should say. I thought you did beautifully.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, no, like you said, it is such an interesting role because amidst all of the drama and sort of the murder mystery aspect of the story, it's like these very, very few minutes in which there's something more idyllic, more like a dream, and it's such a huge contrast to the rest of the story. So it was such an interesting role, and kind of like what And Bryan's role, of course, is different in another way. His feeds into the murder mystery aspect of the story, but it's also that same thing of how such a short, that's in quotation marks, small role ends up, I mean, though it's the role that adds to the story, not like me, but just the way the role is written.
Right, but
so
also
much.
you as a performer, because you delivered, so you practically enhance the performance. Can you tell us again, like everybody else, what's your plans? What are your plans for this year?
Yeah, so gosh, I mean, I feel I relate, and I'm like sending my heart out, so much, because I relate to everybody so much as far as not exactly knowing, things I mean, we'll see what happens. There are things that are not looking as if they're going to happen in the coming year, things that will be rescheduled and what have you, but, nothing is certain yet. But given how the opera world has really kind of gotten back up, so I'm not saying anything for that reason, on my part. But the way the opera world has just kind of, rallied and been able to plan and organize things in just the most unbelievable circumstances makes me feel very hopeful for this coming year, and really makes me feel amazed as to what opera can do. I mean, if that's a very bright side of, 2020 for me, and I'm very excited to see what that leads to this year in 2021.
Fantastic. Well, I can promise you that we in Teatro Grattacielo, we will do our best to keep doing exactly what we are doing. Actually, we're trying to enhance it, to do more, to present quality, and to employ, hopefully, as many musicians as possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, all of you, for being with us. I will all bring you in now, because I would like you to say a final... I don't know, Happy New Year, hello to everybody. Thank you.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
I love
everyone.
Feliz Año Nuevo.
I really, really love you all.
Well, here are my thoughts to everybody, making sure that what the restrictions are a little more relaxed. I can make a great barbecue for all of us. What about that?
Yes.
Donen a Teatro Grattacielo, por favor.
Yes, what Maria said.
Can I say something? I see so much enthusiasm. Eugenia is always so happy. She's always happy. I get so much good energy looking at all of you. It's great. We have to move forward. We have to do multiple performances. Yeah. We have to be all over the place. We're really doing something for the community. We're doing something for the world. And you are very happy about it. I'm thrilled about it. So it's going to be a beautiful year coming up. And the one after will be even before 2021. How about that?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Ciao.